Good morning, man. Top of the morning, man. Let's get this one in. Oh man, I was gonna do it last night. Good morning. It's it's December 4th, 2025. Man, we only got a couple of weeks, man. We're gonna be in 2026. This decade is flying. It is flying. I remember when it was I remember when 2020 first hit. And now we're almost in 26. So yeah, time is flying, man. Most definitely. But I wanted to get up in here early. Now it's 6:12 a.m. on the West Coast. It's 9:12 a.m. on the East Coast. So a lot of East Coast people, you guys are already up. Some of you guys are going to work. Some of you guys at home eating breakfast, just chilling. And you're like, oh, okay, Red Supreme is on. Okay, let's see what he's talking about. Now, I was in traffic last night making some runs, right? Stopped at a couple of stores, did a little bit of shopping, and I get a notification. Well, no, not a notification. A recommended video popped up in my feed, right? And it was Captain Tazaryach and Tommy Sotomayor. Now, if you ask me, I've called this out a month ago, 2 months ago. What did I tell you guys? Last month, I said Captain Tazaryach and Tommy Sotomayor are gonna fall out because nobody, for the most part, stays friends with Tommy. Tommy's petty. He's always crying about something that somebody said in the chat. He's always in his feelings. He's always in his emotions. Shout out to True Warrior Spirit. Tommy flagged my channel. Let me tell you guys something. He flagged my channel, and I gave you guys the receipts. When you look at it, it said that, oh, you made fun of somebody's physical appearance and you use slurs to describe their physical appearance, right? So he reported it. He told YouTube that I was cyberbullying and calling him names. And I gave you guys a screenshot in that live stream that I did 3 days ago. So I gave you the proof. Listen, it's been a long time since my channel been flagged. My channel haven't, when the last time my channel got flagged? Maybe like 2022. Now, all of a sudden, when I'm clowning Tommy, making jokes about Tommy, my channel gets flagged. Come on, that's no coincidence. It was Tommy. Now, unlike Tommy, I can show the receipts. I've never flagged listen, I've never flagged anybody on this platform. That's not my style. That's the equivalent to snitching. That's the equivalent to testifying. So it don't matter what people say about me. I never reported their channels because what they say on social media don't bother me like that. So I don't feel a need to report it to YouTube. I don't feel a need to run to the YouTube or Google authorities. I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? Saying something about me on social media, that don't hurt my feelings. That doesn't bother me. That's why I never felt the need to flag somebody regardless of what they say about me. But one thing that I do know is you excuse me, you're not gonna stay friends with Tommy. It's just not gonna happen. You know, over the years, you've seen Tommy argue with people that he was once cool with. It's happened over and over and over. Now, of course, Tommy is gonna have his excuse. Well, people are just hating on me. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna say black men are the problem, and he's not the problem. At some point, when you get into it with everybody, there's two things going on here. What you're trying to say is everybody's just hating on Tommy. Either everybody's hating on Tommy or Tommy has issues. He's overly emotional and he can't get along with other men. because eventually he's going to fall out with the people that he's cool with. It's been happening for years. I'm not surprised, because if you go check out my live stream that I did last month, I told you guys that Tommy and Captain Tazaryach would fall out because they're different. Captain Tazaryach talks about the white man, this and this and that. And Tommy was begging white men for acceptance. Tommy tried to form an alliance with white supremacists. And Captain Tazaryach calls out the white man, says a lot of crazy things about white people in general. So it makes no sense for him to be cool with Tommy. You know, they don't have anything in common. So it was only a matter of time before they fell out. I seen it coming 50 miles away. Seen it coming 50 miles away, man. This was easy to call out. And if you've been listening to me, you say, yeah, Red did say that. And, you know, it don't make me smart to point that out because it's obvious. Angry Man fell out with Tommy. Well, they wasn't cool back then, but Angry Man had a back and forth with Tommy before. The Fantastic had a few disagreements with Tommy. Nobody's gonna get along with nobody's gonna get along with Tommy. All those guys is cool with Tommy. At some point, they are biting their tongue. Because if they were honest with Tommy, they would fall out with Tommy right away. Trust and believe when I say this. Them dudes that hang around Tommy, that do panels with Tommy, they're biting their tongue. If they ever call Tommy out for his behavior or criticize him in any way, they're going to fall out. So to avoid all of that, they'll just bite their tongue and just laugh and joke with him. But at some point, you're going to get fed up and you're going to say something to him. If you stand for anything, it's impossible to listen. If you stand for anything, it's impossible to get along with Tommy. You can't show me one man who stands for something that's not going to get into it with Tommy, that's not going to fall out with him eventually. You guys remember when I did that stream last month? I called this. I said, Captain Tazaryach and Tommy, it's only a matter of time before they fall out. And that's obvious. It's easy to see. If you watch Tommy long enough, you know that he gets into it with everybody and he's never wrong about anything. He's always right and he's never wrong about anything. He got the nerve to talk about women who don't want to be held accountable. This guy is never wrong about anything that he says. How many times have you heard Tommy tell somebody that was my fault, I was wrong? Nope, he's going to twist it. He's going to spin it and say that you're wrong and he was right and this is why. And he's going to go into this long, then he's going to go into this long explanation of why he was right. Yeah, he's going to give you this long explanation about why he's right and you're wrong somehow. And his fans, his weak fans, go along with everything he say, even if it's ridiculous. No matter how ridiculous Tommy is, his fans will roll with it and co-sign his nonsense. They've been doing it for years. Let's get into the clip.
Conversation about what they heard and saw they can. We're not coming up here to just be rude, because I'm not being rude. But I do want to say this. After being asked about my thoughts of this, I do have to say something. I've been doing TNT for over a year with Cap. And let me tell y'all something. And I want the world to hear this, because it's a lie if anybody tell you anything different. I'm going to bring him up here and let him tell you. Anything different is a liar, and they're from the pit of hell. It's a lie. Now look at Cap in the face. Since before he ever talked to me till now, there's nothing he heard in that discussion right there that was disrespectful, or he needed to run from, or I can't believe it's not butter, or I can't believe Tommy talking like that. That's
Tommy is a good talker, and he has logic, but at some point, once Tommy emotions get involved, that's when his logic goes out of the window, because everything is about his feelings at a certain point. Everything is about his feelings after a certain point. If he's cool with you, he's gonna get mad at you based on something that somebody said in the comment section. When I got trolls in my comment section that say things about me. So if I got trolls in my comment section that say things about me, what makes you think they're not going to say things about you? Tommy, you said so many things over the years. You got to understand that people will have something to say about you, bro. You said we need more George Zimmermans. You said we need Darren Wilson. You want whites to exterminate blacks. You said some reckless things over the years. So you got to expect for people to come for you at some point. But of course, Tommy don't want to be held accountable for the things that he says. And when people do hold him accountable for the things he says, then he says that people don't like him. People are just name calling him for no apparent reason, when they have all the reason in the world to. So that's what I mean when I say that Tommy is a crybaby. Tommy can dish it, but he can't take it. Over the years, Tommy has called people names: BT 1000s, hair-hatted hooligans, Marquaviuses, all type of stuff like that. But when you call him crispy, or when you insult him, all of a sudden it's a major problem. He can't take it, but he can dish it. Tommy, you're a crybaby and you need to grow up. You a 50-year-old man, and you cry about what people say in the comment section every single time you fall out with somebody. See what they said about me in your comment section. See what they said about me in your comments. Just sitting up there crying like a baby, and you a 50-year-old man whining and crying about people saying something about you in the comments. Tommy's been doing this for years. He's a certified crybaby. But the sad part about it is he is 50.
That is crap. This is the same man that said on my show and told what's his name? Angry Man, he ain't got no pussy and needs some pussy. It's the same man. So if I can't talk about a random idea of I like ass.
All right, we ain't gonna get into that. So he said Tommy was talking about, we want to keep this monetized, so we want to keep the language straight. Captain Tazaryach said he didn't want to be on the panel with Mr. Fantastic and Tommy Sotomayor talking about a woman's body. Tommy said, Cap, hold on, you a hypocrite. Because when you and Angry Man had a disagreement, you told Angry Man he need to get some box. Maybe if he got some box, he'll be all right. So Tommy said, since that was your argument against Angry Man, you have no reason telling us that we can't talk about a woman's body, even though it was a woman that asked me a question about women's butts and female bodies. So in that regard, I believe that Tommy was right. But this is Captain Tazaryach rebuttal to that would be, well, my conversation wasn't rooted in sex. I didn't make the conversation about sex. I just spoke on one thing and said maybe this man needs some box. So in Captain Tazaryach's defense, he wasn't making a whole conversation about sex. He just told Angry Man maybe if he got some box, he would calm down. Maybe he wouldn't be so angry. Well, he is the Angry Man. That's his name. But Tommy said, how dare you have a problem with me talking about a woman's body when you told Angry Man he needed to get some box so that he can calm down, so that he won't be so angry. So Tommy said, you can't say that about Angry Man and then have a problem with me talking about a woman's body. You're a hypocrite at that point. Words of Tommy. Give me your thoughts on that.
It is wild as we start the show when people are coming in. And a woman asked, why y'all like different butts? So a female asked. And all we were doing was making jokes as people were coming in. But you heard from his own mouth. I don't know what these niggas doing.
Yeah, you're right about that. Tommy comes up with logical sound. He comes up with logical sounding reasoning, but it's still just emotion when you peel it back. Exactly. Tommy is great at convincing you that something, he'll convince you that something that doesn't make sense makes perfect sense. He's good at convincing you. He's good with words. I'll give him that. But when you listen long enough and you peel back the layers, it's nonsense 100%. You just got to peel back the layers to see the nonsense. But he'll butter it up. He'll dress it up real nice for you. But when you get to the bottom of it, you peel back those layers, it's nonsense 100%. Shout out to you. Shout out to Invader Rux. You're 100% correct. I've noticed that about Tommy as well a long time ago.
I'm watching over in his conversation. Somebody says, sounds like Tommy is obsessed with sex. Imagine this person is saying, I'm obsessed with sex, when the person they support is the one who told another man his argument, because niggas ain't fair. Niggas will split. If niggas was fair, when I see how this is why it is very difficult for me to deal with niggas, because niggas ain't fair. Niggas will, if you slept with a woman. I always
shout out to you, Don. I appreciate you for subscribing to the channel.
ask these questions to see if people are being fair, because I ask my audience to be fair. I ask everybody to be fair. And if people want to find out why, when they say, well, Tommy, you fall out with a lot of people, you know why? Because I'm fair. I ask everybody to be fair. And if people want to find out why, when they say, well, Tommy, you fall out with a lot of people, you know why? Because I'm fair.
No, you're not. On the surface, it appears that you're trying to be fair, but when you peel back the layers, you see it's nonsense 100%. You fall out with people because you're an emotional crybaby and you can't get along with men. If you have a conversation with him, eventually he's going to start yelling. He's going to start screaming. He's going to be in his emotions. That's how Tommy operates. So he falls out with people because he can't get along with men. He acts like his mama, just like his mama. Well, I'm pretty sure your mother gets along with men better than you do, and she's a woman.
I don't rah-rah something that's unfair. I would have assumed he won't read my pedo comments. He knows I'm on to him, says RAK. Hold on a second. RAK over in Cap's chat room says, what age of butts do you like, Tommy? It's the age of butts, Tommy. Now I'll look over in my comment section. Let me see if anybody over here is trying to call. And that was the first issue. The first issue was on what? Well, no, I think the first issue was probably when I called out Sinetta. I called him out. I went off. I didn't pay it attention at the time because I thought this was just me speaking my mind about some shit that happened to me on my show. But I think that might have caused an issue, and I don't know. That's why hopefully I'll be able to ask. Then the second thing was we were making jokes on the show. Well, I was making jokes, but I made one joke, and then Melanin was taking up for R. Kelly. And then that, I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't think I said anything wrong. And it seemed
Captain Tazaryach is getting ready to pull up right now.
that this idea of we don't normally talk like that was an excuse, because we normally talk like that. I could see if it was something I never talked about, we don't talk about, it comes up at least once a show. And again, I challenge all y'all, go back and watch any TNT and all the.
Tommy never does anything wrong. He just never does anything wrong. It's always somebody else's fault. You know, just like the women he talks about, it's never his fault. You can meet a chick with 3 baby daddies and she'll tell you that it's not her fault. She'll try her best to convince you that she get along with men. You got 3 baby daddies. That's all the proof we need to see that you can't get along with men or pair bond with anybody. You got 3 different men who implanted in you, and you're not with none of them. So you're not gonna convince anybody with common sense that you just get along with men. A lot of these women have emotional problems. They got anger issues. They've been damaged psychologically. They've been abused physically. These women come with a long list of problems, but they'll still convince you that somehow it's the man's fault. You got 3 or 4 baby daddies and you ain't with none of them. That's a clear indication that you can't get along with men. A lot of females fall in that category. Well, Tommy is no different than that woman that I just explained. He's no different than that woman right there. He'll convince you, even though he falls out with everybody, he'll convince you that it's never his fault. He fell out with 50 people, but he's going to convince you that it's never his fault. Just like the woman with 3 or 4 baby daddies, she's going to convince you that she gets along with men just fine, even though she ain't with none of her baby daddies and she got 3 or 4 of them. In her 30s, unmarried, 3 or 4 baby daddies. Can't get along with men, neither can Tommy.
Panels in which Cap has been on, you tell me if conversation don't go there at least once. At least once. That place. And that wasn't no stray. See, again, y'all see Mika catching strays. How did Mika catch a stray when I said Mika can tell you if this is true or not? How did she catch a stray? I hate niggas. Hate them. The worst people in the world to talk to, because let me tell you what niggas will do. Niggas sit around trying to start shit like the black bitches who raised them, like the whore who bore them.
All right.
Is that upset? But I didn't say anybody's
Tommy we trying to monetize this thing, and Tommy language is just foul.
name. I was just talking about the panel. I wasn't offended. Offended is like when you call me or text me or message me that you're actually doing this live stream. I'd have been like, man, F your live stream. I ain't coming over there. That's now I'm offended. If there's an agenda, I wouldn't come over here. I stopped making my body butters. I stopped working so I could come over here and have this conversation because I find it extremely strange that brothers can't step away from a live stream, or brothers can't say, like you mentioned something from a couple of weeks ago when I said I'm gonna make a clip. For those that have followed me for years, me saying the phrase I'm gonna make a clip is what I always say when I'm gonna make a clip. It don't matter what the subject is. It doesn't matter that you said the joke that you made or the conversation that was had. That's a cap thing. Make a clip. The number 10 when we hang up on callers. There's a lot of things that is a part of my show. So I didn't have an issue then. What did I text you when that incident happened and you text me? It was like, "Are we good?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why would we ever have a falling out? I don't. You ain't did nothing to me. Like you ain't done nothing to me." So
what up, Maurice Delt? Shout out to you, bro. It's never Tommy's fault. He falls out with everybody, but it's never his fault. The woman has 3 or 4 baby daddies. It's not her fault. It's the men. The men are the problem. So he's no different than the women he talks about. It's never his fault. It's never their fault.
yesterday when I hop on a live, and it's not the subject, like you say, we always go off cuff with that type of talk. It's just the length of the subject and me just engaging and looking at it. And I'm like, it seems like this is what they're gonna be on. And so I just simply text you and said,
listen, if you fall out with everybody you've been cool with, at some point that says something about you and your character. But of course, Tommy is not going to take a look in the mirror. He's going to blame somebody else. It's never his fault. He's just like the women he complains about. He's no different.
I texted you and said, let me see. I text you, I said, is this subject gonna change or stay here? And you said, yes, LOL. You said, what the issue? I ain't gonna say what you said. I'll just say what I said. Then it says, yeah, my audience wasn't feeling it. I was gonna let y'all rock out this week. That's what I said. And then I went and did my show. I didn't do no banter of, saying y'all ain't shit or whatever. I did say I didn't know what what they had going on just because of the length of the conversation. I didn't blame nobody. I didn't say the fellas started the conversation. I didn't say the women started the conversation. It was extremely generic. and then I went about my day. I'm actually surprised and disappointed that we even got to do this live stream. I don't think everything is content. I can't come. I'm not.
Shout out to FBA King David. Appreciate you, bro.
I can't come up here and fake have an issue with you. I don't have an issue with you. I'm not like.
You can't say I don't think everything is content and be broadcasting it.
You broadcasting it.
Yeah. Listen to logic. So you broadcasted what you broadcasted yesterday. So I should broadcast my response by your own logic.
I broadcasted live. It was happening live. Yes. I normally broadcast on Tuesdays, and then I stopped when I got off that that podcast. I start talking about FBA. I start talking about the Bible. I no longer talk about that. I just kept my live going. You played everything that I said.
Yes, but it was, again,
Captain Tazaryach tried to convince his fans that T.S. Giselle was the queen of FBA. That was like, the fact that he ran with it was like, that was kind of weird. You know, nobody looks at that woman like that. She trolls Tariq shows. But he came with this whole argument that she's the queen of FBA and the first lady, and he ran with it. And the people who listened to him ran with it as well. It just shows you how absent-minded a lot of people are. Anybody with common sense knows that she is not the first lady or no queen of the FBA. That was crazy that Captain even tried to run with that. That was a complete joke. But I didn't make no response videos to that. People said, why don't you do something on that? I'm like, I'm not even going to entertain that. That's just ridiculous. T.S. Giselle, seriously?
You could have said, I'm cutting this off because my page, my face, my show was there. And you were talking about it. You were discussed. You were showing your disgust.
Yeah, Tommy's offended by everything. Have you ever met a woman that's offended by everything? She's always complaining about the way that you talk to her. She's complaining about your tone. Well, that's how Tommy is. He complains about the comment section. Everything is a problem. He is so sensitive that everything becomes a problem. He's no different than the women he talks about.
Discuss with it.
I don't know. Discuss
that everything is not a. That would be how. Okay, here's the thing. How you perceive, like just like how you would perceive me going live right now. That is your perception. I don't deny your perception. I don't understand why people get to have a perception, but then deny other people's perception.
I didn't deny yours either, though. I'm just telling you from my perspective. I said for me, everything is not content. Like if I got an issue with you, I wouldn't go live about it. That's my perception. You can go live about it. And so I did it so that my audience, when I actually, what made me actually go live is your title. Cause I'm like, oh, this gonna be good. Cause I'm waiting to see me and Tommy Beef live on the air. This gonna be good. So your title is actually what made me go live because I'm not doing it. I don't know how to, like if I genuinely had an issue with you, I can understand having a real beef with you. And I know titles can be sensationalized. I don't have an issue with that either.
Yes.
Right. So I know why the title is there, but I don't know how to fake that. I don't know how to.
There's no fake, but everything was already
from me. I'm talking about from me.
I'm saying everything was already set up. I set up the show.
Tommy has some weirdo fans. Like they never hold him accountable for anything. He was begging white people to accept him, begging racist white men to embrace him, and his fans don't have a problem with that. The only time Tommy has a problem with white people is when they say something crazy about him. But as long as white people are talking reckless about black folks, he don't care. Tommy is a disgrace. 100%. If Tommy wasn't such a crybaby, if Tommy wasn't so emotional, he would be a better man. But Tommy is not a man because he's an emotional crybaby. Then he tries to use this logic, but he never applies that same logic to himself. He applies that logic to everybody else, but he won't apply that same logic to himself. He's overly emotional like a woman. He is sensitive like a woman. He argues like a woman. He's no different than the women he complains about.
what it was. So if I said I'm talking about monkeys slapping each other, but then you come to the show and I say, hey, what we're really talking about is these two black.
The thing is this, Captain, it made no sense for you to be cool with Tommy. See, I was cordial with Tommy. I never sat on panels with Tommy all the time. I never wanted to, because we're different. But that doesn't mean that I can't have a cordial conversation with Tommy. It made no sense for Captain to be around Tommy like that because Tommy worships white people. Now, he'll say something about white people when they disrespect him. But if they're not disrespecting him, then he don't have a problem when they disrespect black folks in general. That's the reality of it. So Captain Tazaryach talks crazy about white people, and Tommy worships white people. So it's impossible for people like that to get along with one another. They're too different.
No. I knew you was talking about me. I'm talking about the title, Captain. What was your title? Your title, because I just copied your title. Tommy Sotomayor addresses the beef between him and Captain Tazaryach. That title, I know that's a sensationalized title. It's not real.
Well, because they're saying there must be some beef, so I said, well, let me address this beef you say has happened.
Yeah, I don't have what. I mean, you got to tell me.
No, not you. I'm saying they're saying.
No, I'm not saying you. I know you. The you is them, and that's probably.
Make sure that you guys bless the like button. Make sure that you guys get those likes up for me. I appreciate you guys for doing that.
Why I came in, why I did it live, because if it's left on yours, people gonna say you and Tommy got beef. So now it's on.
Yeah, Tommy flagged my channel too. He flagged my channel for calling them names. He told YouTube I was calling them names and they flagged my channel. They said I insulted him. I used slurs over and over to describe his physical appearance. I dehumanized him. Just a whole bunch of crybaby BS. Yes, Tommy flagged my channel. He reported it. But of course, he's going to say that he didn't. And he's going to convince his absent-minded fans that he's telling the truth.
Mine, so my audience and your audience can see I don't have, unless there's something you think.
It wouldn't have been, because I had already said I was going to bring you. I sent you the link and said you was coming on the show, so that wouldn't have happened because you were already going to be here.
I thought it was going to be cleared up. I thought it would be something like Captain Tazaryach Tommy clears up or something like that. So what I'm simply saying is that unless I said your name in that live, I was not just talking about you, like saying Tommy is this time. I can't, like, you can't blame me for what my chat says. You know, the rules for my chat is like, as long as you ain't talking about my mother, my kids, or something like that, I generally don't care what people put in the chat, because people watch and they get the troll. It's like people trolling in the comment section. So I don't.
Shout out to Afro Nat for the cash app. Appreciate you, Afro Nat.
Police it like that. That's what I tell my moderators. So when people put crazy stuff in the chat, sometimes my moderators will text me and say, hey, do you want me to get rid of this? For example.
Right. See, Tommy, he's always crying about the chat. Your people in your chat room are saying it's Tommy. A lot of people don't like you. You got people who like you, but a lot of people don't. Just because somebody likes me doesn't mean that they're gonna like you. And I'm not gonna police my chat. I'm not reading the chat. Tommy wants you to have a conversation with him, but at the same time, police your chat so that they're not saying things about him. My thing is this, Tommy, I don't care about the chat like that. Tommy Sotomayor is so emotional that he worries about the chat. You can't even have a conversation without Tommy pointing out some things that somebody is saying in the chat room. See, they're calling me crispy, everybody. Look at your chat room. Your people are this, your people are that. Your fans are not civilized. Your fans are ghetto. Look at what they're saying about me, everybody. They called me crispy, everybody. And he did the same thing to me. He kept complaining about the things that people in the comment section were saying about him. Tommy, you're not a likable person. They have every reason to say things about you. Look at what Tommy has said about black people over the years. He said he wished that white people would get a strap and pow unalive black people. He said this. These were his words. He wants more George Zimmermans. Where's Darren Wilson when you need them? Black folks need to be exterminated. He said all of these things over the years. And you don't expect to get backlash? You think people just going to look past that and say, okay, Tommy was just in his feelings, we forgive him? No, they're going to hold you accountable for that. So if you can dish it out, you got to be able to take it, Tommy. The problem with Tommy is he can dish it, but he can't take it. As long as he's doing the name calling, as long as he's calling somebody's mother the B word, it's all gravy, baby. But the moment that you call him crispy, it's a major problem. He's crying about the comment section. They're calling me names. They're calling me names. Stop watching the comment section. Let's have a conversation. Put your pants on and stop being a crybaby.
When that cat was putting the pedophile stuff in there on you, I put in the chat, I deleted the comment, and then I timed him out for 30 minutes when I saw it.
Tommy whines like a girl, and he's always pointing out the comment section. They said this about me. They said this about me. Your fans are this, and your fans are that. Your fans aren't civilized. Have you seen the things that Tommy fans have said about people? Tommy, people in your chat room talk crazy about people all the time. You don't see us crying about the stuff that your people in your comment section say. We don't cry about it because it doesn't bother us. Tommy is a sensitive, emotional crybaby. He's no different than the women he talks about.
But I didn't see it until you said something, because I don't look at the chat. I don't monitor the chat like that. So it sounds like the chat said more about the panel than I did.
Well, no, they didn't. That's what I'm saying. If you say what it sounds like, I laid it all out. That's why I waited to lay it all out before I brought you up. And again, when you say, oh, I only went live because of what the title was, so I wanted my people to be able to see it too. But I had said to you in a text message, just like I said on the other, when you had asked about, when you said, is the subject going to change here? And I said, yes, LOL. And I said, what was the issue with that one? I was asking what was the issue with what was going on. Then I said, we're talking about which is bigger, the problem with DL men, or I meant to put whores, but it says or whites,
right?
Because an audience that wasn't feeling it.
But the audience that I'm saying, like, I don't look at every comment in there, just some comments, some messages. Like, my audience isn't just people that comment. Some people text me, XYZ like that. So all I said was, I'm just going to let y'all rock with it. I don't look at that as being offended. I don't look at that as being bothered. I look at it like, hey, man, maybe this show is not going to go the way that it would normally go. Let me let them have it this week. I'll come back the next week. It's not, I didn't think it was the end of the world. I didn't pinpoint nobody. I didn't make fun of nobody. I mean, I didn't see. And then I just went and did a regular show.
But you're saying this, and here's what I'm trying to say back. That's why I was saying we're not understanding. And then this is the diminishing is the to me the problem. Like how somebody in your comment section said,
I agree. Tommy is a drama queen. Tommy is a diva and a drama queen. All he needs is some high heels and some lipstick, and give Tommy a lace front wig, some lipstick, some high heels, and a mini skirt. Tommy is a diva, a drama queen. 100%, man. Always crying about what people say in the comment section. You can't even have a conversation with him without him crying about the comment section. They called me crispy, everybody. They're calling me crispy in your comments, everybody.
Is men, midlife crisis, low testosterone. Tommy, you're demonstrating a whole medical condition here, bro.
But see, that's
no. I'm going to address.
No, but the difference. Okay, good. No, I'm not saying you can't address it. But
I was using it to make a point.
But that's using that to make a point. But that's the
diminishing of it. I was saying the diminishing of it. When I was saying what you look when I watched you, that's why I played it and pointed out everything I saw. You seem, if someone says you seem disgusted, have you ever looked back? I remember one time you said, I went back and looked at my own face.
Right. He used the comment section to detour and derail the conversation. Whenever he's losing, he'll point out, he'll talk about your comment section instead of dealing with the conversation. So he uses that as an excuse to derail the conversation. So he'll just start crying about the comments. He's been doing this for years.
And saw what I saw, but I didn't see it in his real time. You said that to me once before about a show. So I was trying to let you see it. That's why I said I wanted you to see it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that when I'm listening to that, I'm like, damn, what these niggas on, how long they gonna be here? I'm not saying I didn't make no face. I'm not saying that I wasn't feeling the show. I wasn't. But I wasn't offended at the show. I wasn't bothered by the show. If I was bothered, I would have told you. I was the same way you text me when you thought there was an issue over the whole joke that you made. is the same way I would have done the same thing if it offended or bothered me like that, but it did not. Even with the comments, like, you and I are different in that instance. Like, I don't pay attention to the comments as much as you do. Like, you'll see somebody say something and then you'll address it. I'll see somebody and say something, I may not address it, or I may address it because I think they try to control me. We're just two different people and we're entitled to that. So when I stepped away, I just looked at it like, okay, I'm gonna be on there next week. Maybe it's my fault. This is what I'm saying to myself. Maybe I'll make sure I send some stories. We get in there and do it like that. I'm already coming in late, so I'm not trying to just come in and then just bully the conversation. So that's why I was trying to give way to let it go, because we'll do that in the middle of conversations. You'll make a joke. Shit, I'll make a joke. I'll say things, but it doesn't last that long from what I can remember. Maybe I got to go back and watch videos and see if it's lasted that long. And so that's all it was for me. And so when my audience is telling me they're not doing that, and then I come from an Israelite or a biblical lens, so even with that, I go too far. I push the button. Like when you brought up when I said angry man need to get pussy, I say other stuff than that. I just don't go at it that long. So for me, yesterday was just a show. I was gonna let y'all rock, and that's as far as I took it. It's nothing else. I mean, if you feel that I got some issue, like I'm on the stage now, you can ask me. I'll answer whatever question you got.
But that's what I was trying to do.
No, nigga, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, man, that's what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah, Jeff, it was sad. Jeff was kissing Tommy's behind. Like I said, man, any one of these people who sit on the panel with Tommy, they got to bite their tongue. They can't say what they really want to say, because if they said what they really want to say, they'll fall out with Tommy. And a lot of these guys want to be cool with Tommy. They want to be cool with Tommy so bad that they look past all this BS that's obvious. They look past the fact that he was begging white people to accept him. They look past the fact that he's emotional. They look past the fact that he's a crybaby and a hypocrite. They look past all of those things just to be cool with Tommy, the guys who sit on those panels with him. Because there's no way, it's impossible. We know for a fact that they see the same things that I'm saying. I know for a fact they see it. They choose not to say anything about it because they want to be cool with Tommy. So they just ignore it. They ignore the fact that he's an emotional crybaby. Well, we'll look past the fact that he's an emotional crybaby. We'll look past the fact that he was kissing the behind of white supremacists who don't like black folks in general. We'll look past all of that just to stay cool with Tommy. Because if they ever held Tommy accountable for that, they'll fall out instantly. So they stay quiet. They bite their tongue.
Okay. No, that's what I'm saying. Because you mentioned Sonetta, you mentioned the show a couple of weeks ago. So, and this is why another reason why I went live is so that people can see two black men. You made a point to say something about falling out, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think I don't think you and I will ever fall out, ever. I'll show you what true brotherhood is. The reason you invited me to your home, I invited you to my school. I brought you on, not my school, but to the party we had. Brought you on the stage, like showing a level of brotherhood that should be exemplified from two people that don't even.
See, I ain't never been that cool with Tommy to the point to where I refuse to call out his nonsense. I said that I said, listen, a long time ago, I said Tommy is funny. He's a talented podcaster, but he is a raccoon. I've said this years ago about Tommy. So it's not like I started saying something about Tommy now that I haven't said 2 or 3 years ago. But Tommy will convince you that all of a sudden I just started saying this when I've said these things about Tommy years ago. I've been said that Tommy was a raccoon. If you've been watching me, you will say, yeah, Red did say that years ago. So it's not like I'm just saying it now.
Live the same lifestyle. So you haven't done nothing to me. If you do something to me, I still would talk to you behind the scenes. It would never be public if you did something to me. So whatever questions you have to clear up what you may think of me, because this is my lens, not yours, the floor is yours.
Well, see, that was the whole thing. Because see, here's how I tell people something, and I want y'all to pay. This is why I pointed out what was said in the comment section. You can give somebody a pebble and they can run back and take a whole boulder. If you already got people, just like if I already got people on my side who looking for a crumb so they can turn it into a brick, I would realize I'm.
But see, yeah, shout out to Baby Lane. Shout out to Baby Lane, because the real ones know. Tommy painted the picture to his audience that I just all of a sudden started calling him a raccoon. Oh, I all of a sudden I am now calling him a seller. I've said this about Tommy years ago. If you watch me, you know. But Tommy has weak fans who are absent-minded, who can't think for themselves. And in their eyes, Tommy can do no wrong. So they believe all the nonsense that he feeds them. They believe the nonsense that he tells them.
Giving it to them. When you come on my show and you are invited, just like you've been invited before.
Cat was trying to be cool with Tommy, so he held back a little bit. Like he did his best to try to stay cool with Tommy. Eventually, it got so ridiculous, then Cap just had to say, okay, let me take the gloves off and just give him the business. But Cap tried his best to maintain his relationship with Tommy by saying, okay, bro, this is water under the bridge, let it blow over. But Tommy is so emotional, he couldn't let it go. So he went on and on and on to the point to where Cap said, all right, gloves are off. Let me tell this guy what it really is. And it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. Those dudes who hang around Tommy, they refuse to call him out for saying we need more George Zimmermans, we need more Darren Wilsons. I want whites to exterminate blacks. The people that's cool with Tommy, they look past all of that just to stay cool with him. They look past the fact that he's an emotional crybaby. They look past the fact that he's a diva. They look past the fact that Tommy believes that he's never wrong about anything. They're willing to look past all of that just to stay cool with him. The guys who do those panel shows with him. Because they, keep in mind, they see the same nonsense that I just pointed out. Don't for one second think that they don't see the same things that I'm saying. Trust and believe they see it. They're willing to kiss Tommy's behind just to stay friends with him. So they bite their tongue and they don't say nothing. So they'll ignore the obvious.
And you come in, and this show you seem pissed about something that happens every show, especially at the beginning. Because we get people in, we ramp them up, and we try to have like a little, I call it like a little monologue, but because there's a bunch of people, it is. I point out something about your comment section now. When you go live and you're saying, hey, you took it the wrong way, your audience, I won't be, since you said you was talking about the panel and you weren't talking about me, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of your audience is a bunch of fuck niggas.
Let me show you how this is one of Tommy's fans, this Larry guy. I called Tommy a raccoon a long time ago. What I'm saying now is nothing new. You wouldn't know that because you believe everything that Tommy say. Tommy didn't boost my numbers. The videos that I talked, listen, if you look at my streams that I did about immigrants, the Mexicans in California, the open borders and things like that, those get way more views. Those live streams got way more views than the ones that I did about Tommy. So you're a fanboy. You're the type of person that you listen to what Tommy say because you don't have the evidence, you don't have the facts yourself. So you just go along with everything that Tommy tells you. I was cordial with Tommy, but you've never seen me on panels with Tommy every week. I had a conversation with Tommy every now and then. I was never so cool with Tommy to the point to where I never said anything about his behavior. Everything that I'm saying now, I've said years ago about Tommy. But of course, you're a fanboy. You don't know the history. You're just repeating what Tommy Sotomayor has told you because you're a simpleton. You're a charlatan and a simpleton. Study the history for yourself and stop repeating what Tommy tells you.
Pussy niggas from day one when I first got out of their mouth is to be a fucking asshole. Just like they're doing it now. The majority of them aren't sitting here saying, well, let me listen to what the fuck the issue is.
And let me say this, just because you're cool with somebody don't mean that you can't call them out for their nonsense. So this is what I said. All those guys who sit on panels with Tommy, they ignore everything that I said. But they can see it for themselves. They can see everything that I'm saying about Tommy for themselves, but they ignore it because they want to be cool with him. So they put a zip on their lips and they don't say nothing. I got family members who are raccoons, and guess what? I still tell them, hey, man, you my cousin, but you're still a raccoon. Because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what that behavior is. Just because I'm cool with somebody don't mean that I can't call out something that I disagree with. And it's not that me and Tommy was cool. Me and Tommy was cordial. You didn't see me sitting on panels with Tommy every week, like Captain Tazaryach and Fantastic and Angry Man. They sit on panels with Tommy's every week. I've never did that. I had a few conversations with Tommy. Some of them were cordial. One of them wasn't.
Then I'll make my thoughts about it. Now, somebody tell me if I'm lying. You talking about the trend. Someone says the truth coming out. I ain't never liked you motherfuckers. I always thought y'all niggas was assholes. I said it the first day I came. Y'all niggas is dicks. Y'all sit there and talk stupid to people that you've never spoken to, but you don't hear them out. I ain't no way in hell.
And listen, Tommy ain't got a problem calling you out about something that he disagrees with that you said. When have Tommy ever bit his tongue? Tommy's always called out things that he disagrees with. Even if he like you, he's going to tell you about something that he disagrees with. But the problem with Tommy is he don't like it when he doesn't like it when people who are cool with him call him out for something that they disagree with. It all goes back to what I said. Tommy can dish it, but he can't take it. He can tell you all day about something that you said that was wrong. But if you tell him that he was wrong about something, he's going to get emotional. He's going to tell you that he's not wrong. And if you've been watching Tommy, you know I'm telling the truth. He has no problem telling you that you're wrong about something, but the moment that you tell him that he's wrong about something, he's going to cry about it. He's going to go on this long emotional rant to try to prove that he's right, even when he's wrong. He's been doing it for years. And the sad part about it is the people that hang around him are too afraid to call him out. Why? Because they want to be friends with him, so they avoid holding him accountable because they want to be his friend that bad.
Do that. So when I watch that, as the one person then says, when you state, I don't know, he says, yeah, you're able to reel Tommy in. The real weirdo.
Tariq Nasheed was cool with Tommy. He was cordial with Tommy. But eventually you're going to have to say something if you stand for something. You're going to say, well, hold on, bro. This is just left field right here. Tommy was cool with Corey Holcomb. He was cool with He was cool with Tariq Nasheed. Tommy was cool with a lot of people. See, it's cool for Tommy to disagree with you. It's cool for Tommy to call you out for something that you did was wrong. But the moment you call out Tommy for something that he said was wrong, if you call him out for anything, and you can do it in a respectful way, you ain't even got to be disrespectful about it. You're going to fall out with him because Tommy's not used to people holding him accountable. Tommy is right and he's never wrong. And a lot of these guys, they look past all of this stuff because they want to be friends with this dude so bad. So they look past all of his character flaws and they won't say anything about it because they know if they ever said something about it, they're going to fall out with him. So they're willing to kiss Tommy's behind to maintain their so-called friendship.
Comes out when you're not there. Now I'm sitting up here thinking, hold on a fucking minute. Like the young lady said, Cap don't like to be led. He's a leader. Same as me. So who the fuck says something like that? You reel me in to where I can have a logical conversation. Because when you're not there, I'm a weirdo. And this was the second comment. The first comment was the girl said,
we almost got 300 people in here, man. Bless the Cash App or bless the Super Chat. Let's get some contributors and supporters. We got almost 300 people in here. Let's do it. Support the content, man.
I'm out. So there's just two comments. Just two. If I've been doing business with you for this long and I've never said anything that offended you, you don't think that that would stand out to me? And when you say the word, I'm not offended, when you're offended enough to where I invite you to my house and you walk out, that is offense. You can use whatever word you want. I don't know a person on earth, if I had went up to your party that you had, walked in there and then...
Listen, I've seen Tommy Sotomayor tell Angry Man he was wrong about something. I seen Tommy Sotomayor tell Captain Tazaryach he was wrong about something. I seen Tommy tell Fantastic he was wrong about something. Whatever that dude name is, Jeff kissed Tommy's behind. Jeff got on his knees and kissed the ring of Tommy. Kissed Tommy's behind because he wanted to be cool with Tommy so bad. That dude, Jeff, literally bowed down and kissed Tommy's ring. I want to be cool with you so bad, Tommy. I'm going to bow down and kiss the ring. That's exactly what Jeff did. A lot of those guys who hang around Tommy, they do the same thing. They stay quiet because they don't want to fall out with Tommy. They're willing to kiss his behind just to stay friends with him. Trust me, if you don't believe me, go look at it for yourself.
Got on my live and said, and I want all y'all to answer this. Let's see how your people will answer this. If I got on my live, because you invited me up there to the party, and I'm showing stuff and I'm like, man, these niggas is wild. And I text you, I'm out. You mean to tell me I want to hear from any of y'all? Y'all don't think that person might have been a bit offended? They went live when you invited them to their house. They went live to show their audience your house and got offended at what went on in your house by saying, oh, this what they're doing? I'm out. Now their people see what's going on in your house, and they saw that it was enough to make them say, I'm out. But you invited them, not their friends. I invited you, not your friends. So if your friends were offended by what I was doing in my house, I didn't invite them. If your friends didn't like what I was doing, I didn't invite them. So then now I'm sitting here thinking, oh, that was odd. And I didn't know there was a video to be had. People started sending me the video saying, yo, he was recording this at the beginning. So now this video is there of my group looking like, I guess, I don't know.
Tommy's only cool with people who agrees with him, man. So I don't know what you're talking about, J216. You want to defend Jeff, you can defend Jeff all you want. But what I'm saying is this, what I know for a fact, Tommy's not friends with anybody that challenges him. He's only friends with people who agrees with him. He's only friends with people who agrees with everything he says. That's how Tommy is. So if you see a gang of guys around Tommy, they're yes men. They just go along with Tommy's BS to stay friends with him. That's exactly what most people do. Now, you might have some guys that pop up here and there, but the guys that you see, the guys that's around Tommy on a regular basis, they got to agree with Tommy to stay cool with him. The moment that they have a different stance or a different outlook on things, and it doesn't align with Tommy's beliefs, they're going to fall out because Tommy feels like he's right and they're always wrong. Tommy's been doing this for years. Tommy don't want strong. Listen, Tommy don't like strong men being around him. Tommy only keeps yes men around him. Now, Tommy and Cap, of course, they don't agree, but Cap has went along with Tommy's BS for a long time just to be cool with him, in my honest opinion, because there's no way that somebody who talks about the white man as much as Cap does, there's no way that you're going to be cool with Tommy. Tommy told white people to harm black children, to arm themselves and harm black children. Tommy said we need more Darren Wilsons. Somebody like Captain Tazaryach, there's no way that somebody like Captain Tazaryach should be cool with somebody like Tommy. I'm not saying that they can't have a cordial conversation, but to sit on panels with Tommy every day makes no sense, especially when you think about what Cap stands for versus what Tommy stands for. So it goes back to what I said originally. I said the only reason that Cap was able to get along with Tommy, Cap had to go along with a lot of Tommy's BS just to stay friends with him. At this particular point, Cap had enough. He got tired of going along with Tommy's BS. He took the gloves off and said, you know what? I got to tell this guy about himself. Because if you stand for something, you're only going to get along with Tommy. You're only going to get along with Tommy for so long. It's only so long that you're going to get along with Tommy if you stand for something. Eventually, you're going to have to call him out because Tommy is an emotional crybaby. He's sensitive. He's emotional. Tommy can dish it, but he can't take it. So it all goes back to what I said. Anybody that stands for something is not going to be cool with Tommy for too long. Tommy Sotomayor keeps yes men around him. People that's not really going to challenge him on the things that he says. Those are the people that he keeps around him for the most part.
And you got some people saying, this ain't that deep. This ain't your business. This ain't your business. I have the right to feel the way I feel, and all I was doing was addressing it before it went anywhere else. I'm addressing it because if I invite someone to my house, and as he stated, I invited him to his house. Imagine if he had came into my house and was recording on his Instagram and saw something in my house and said, oh, I don't roll like that. I'm leaving. How you mean that won't look bad on me with this video sitting there? And I don't see how anybody doesn't understand that. But I'll put it back on Cap to see if that part resonates any, because apparently his audience doesn't. I'm just yapping too much. I'm ugly, stupid, and old, and everything else, but they won't listen. That's wild.
Yeah, my name is Captain Tazaryach. I'm Captain Tazaryach. That's Tommy Sotomayor. How Tommy Sotomayor feels, he has every right to feel the way he feels. How I feel, I have every right to feel how I feel. With that said, when it comes to comments, I don't know if you pay attention, even when we do the TNT show, they say wild shit. That's just what the fuck they do. I just don't give a fuck, and you do. I'm a different kind of man than you are. Right now in your chat, if I wanted to, I can read all the comments that's calling me names, calling me out, doing all of that shit, but I don't give a fuck. Cap, with y'all on, I ain't rocking with right now. I would not have given a Cap, I ain't feeling it. If you would have texted me and told me that.
See what Cap is saying? He said, Tommy, I'm not bothered by the things that your people say about me in your comments. Why are you so bothered about the things that people say about you in mine? Stop being emotional and let's have a conversation. These chat rooms are full of trolls. You're going to have trolls in your chat. It's cool. Listen, I understand that we're going to have trolls. I even had to tell some of my moderators, listen, you can block some of the trolls if they get ridiculous, but I'm not going to block them just for saying something that we disagree with. Sometimes you got to let the trolls rock out. I don't mind letting the trolls rock out sometimes, but only to a certain extent. If you can't take what people are saying in the comment section, get off YouTube. You're too sensitive for social media. People come to my comment section and talk crazy about me. Do I get bent out of shape? No. I'll correct them. I might say something about it, but it's rare that I block anybody. You got to do something ridiculous for me to block you.
I wouldn't have cared. You'd have did that, we'd have kept the show going because y'all kept the show going. So I don't.
Tommy keeps people around him who agrees with him. Now I get it. You want like-minded people around you. That there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, anytime somebody challenges Tommy's belief, they're gonna fall out with him because Tommy can't take it when somebody challenges his beliefs. So he falls out with them automatically. Tommy can't get along with other men. It's impossible. He's been falling out with people for years. The only people that stay cool with Tommy are the people who never. These are the guys who are not honest with him. These are yes men. They'll just go along to get along because they want to maintain their friendship with Tommy, so they bite their tongue. They don't want to offend Tommy, so they avoid being honest with him about the things that he does.
See why the fuck I can't leave a room. Text you that I can't leave a room, but I get it because I said I don't know what they on. That's just what I felt. I didn't know what y'all was on. It's live, and so I left. The chat don't mean shit, but I love the chat. Listen, I love the trolls in the chat. I love the brothers.
And for the record, you can't say that I was cool with Tommy. I was cordial with Tommy. I've always pointed out the things that I disagree with when it comes to Tommy. I pointed out things years ago that I disagree with when it comes to Tommy. So it's not like all of a sudden I decided to say something about it now. He convinced his absent-minded fans that I all of a sudden said something when I've said these things years ago. What I said about Tommy is nothing new.
in the chat. I love the sisters in the chat. I love the people in the chat that talk about my daughter. I love the people in the chat that say, Cap, you a good guy. I don't care. It doesn't bother me like that. I don't have my emotions on my sleeve and shit like that. When I choose to be somewhere, it's because I want to be. If I choose to leave somewhere, it's because I want to leave.
If you hang around Tommy consistently, there's no way you're gonna get along with Tommy if you got your own mind, if you have your own way of thinking. All it takes is one disagreement and you're gonna fall out with Tommy. Tommy keeps guys around him that agrees with him. It makes excuse me. It makes no sense for somebody like Captain Tazaryach, who talks about the white man all the time. It makes no sense for him to be cool with Tommy because Tommy worships white people. Tommy was begging racist white men to accept him, begging for an alliance. He couldn't understand why those racist white men didn't like him because he's not a pro-black. He's nothing like Tariq Nasheed. So he couldn't understand why those white boys didn't like him. He couldn't understand why they continued to insult him. Now, for somebody who takes pride in being black like Captain Tazaryach, it makes no sense for him to be cool with Tommy Sotomayor because Tommy Sotomayor kisses the behinds of white people 100%. Tommy was begging those white people for acceptance. So it makes no sense for somebody who goes in on white people to be cool with Tommy, and Tommy's a certified, you know what, the animal, the raccoon.
If I have something personal with somebody, though, I just contact them. I don't do it on the internet. I don't go here and do that. Now, that's when it's somebody I personally know. Let me just say it like that, because sometimes
if you stand on black business, there's no way you can be cool with Tommy because Tommy represents the opposite of black pride. He kisses the behinds of white folks. He begged white people for acceptance. So if you stand on blackness, there's no way you can be cool with somebody like Tommy. Eventually, you're going to fall out. The only time Tommy got a problem with white people is when they say something about him. But as long as white folks are saying negative things about blacks in general, Tommy ain't got a problem with that. It's only a problem when white folks insult him.
Do commentary on people. I talk about people all the time. So from a commentary standpoint, that's but from a relationship that I have with anybody, I don't do that. So I don't get why you're acting like today, the way they talking to you in the chat is different from the time we've been together. They talk about you. And what do I do when you bring attention to it? I block them. I hide them. There's been times I've defended you. Would you want to say something, Tommy?
Well, I was going to say something. I said, you're not finished, but it was a core of what you're saying is like, I'm hearing you, but it didn't sound like you didn't hear me.
What didn't I hear?
Saying, I said I use what they're doing. That's why I even said somebody could take a crumb and come back and break a brick. You're feeding them when you go to your show with my stuff. That's why I said if you came in my house. I don't know
what that means.
That's why I'm trying to give you an example. If you came in my house with your phone on your Instagram, filming what's going on in my house, and then you tell your Instagram, oh, I don't know what the fuck going on up in here, I'm out.
So let me repeat so I can understand. What you're essentially saying is, if I'm joining your live stream from my live stream, that's what you're saying.
Yes, because that's what it came from. That's where the problem.
And if you're telling me I can't,
they would have had nothing to say. Think about this. If you had jumped in and you was in the background and you said, oh, this ain't for me, and you just left, they would have never had the ability to be able to send me the video of you on your show saying, oh, this nigga out of line. They out of line. Shaking your head every 5 seconds. I got to go. I can't believe y'all don't see that. That if I took a video in somebody else's house
before this issue
and then said, oh, and they invited me here. Oh,
so you're telling
too much. I'm leaving.
So for me to get you right, you saying I shouldn't go live if I come on your panel?
If you're going to then turn around and diss what you walked into.
I didn't think that. I mean, I see how you take it as a diss. I was like, I ain't even, it's not even, I don't know what I walked into. Hey, I don't know what they on. But I could see
I guarantee you do this to anybody else in any other situation.
I just said I see.
They invite you to something and you brought people with you. They invited you.
I get
people with you because you remember what you said at the beginning. You stated my audience wasn't feeling it.
Right.
Those were your words.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I prefaced it by saying Tommy is entitled to his opinion. I'm entitled to mine. So you're of the opinion I shouldn't have did it through my live if I was going to leave like that because of the way it looks. I get it. I never said I didn't get your position. So I understand why you feel the way that you feel. It just wasn't that deep to me, but I understand why you feel the way that you feel. You feel like, damn, Cap.
This never happened. Ever. Name the other time this had happened. Then it wouldn't have looked weird. It never happened.
Well, it's only been, I'm going to tell you something, though, Tommy. A part of it is only being looked weird because you let people make you think it's weird. That's how I feel.
So I didn't like it when it was done. Because I brought you
because
in.
People told you that's because people
and I looked down and you were gone. The only way I knew you were gone was when I looked down and you were gone.
I texted you first before I left.
I know, but you remember I'm running the show.
Right, I agree. So right, but I did text you though. So if nobody would have sent you the videos, and this is what always happens with brothers, with sisters, with everybody.
See, I watched the show when Tommy told Angry Man that he was wrong about something, and Angry Man accepted it. No, it's rare to see Angry Man accept that he's wrong about something as well. But when Tommy told Angry Man, when Captain Tazaryach and Angry Man had that back and forth, Tommy interjected and said, okay, well, Angry Man, you was wrong about this. Angry Man accepted it. But it's rare for Angry Man to accept anybody telling him that he's wrong about something, but he'll accept it from Tommy. See, Angry Man had a back and forth with Tommy back in the day, but Angry Man wants to be cool with Tommy. So he didn't have a problem with Tommy correcting him live on that show with Captain Tazaryach that day. If anybody else would have said Angry Man was wrong, Angry Man would have debated them and went back and forth with them. But since Tommy corrected him, he accepted it. He had no problem. He had no problem accepting correction from Tommy. I'm speaking about Angry Man.
They want to send a video, and you thinking they send you the video to get some justice. When I'm saying you, is subjectively. I ain't talking about you specifically now. The person receiving it thinking it's about that, when really it's just to get two niggas up here to go back and forth. That's it. That's all it's for. That's the only reason they sent you that shit for. They didn't send it to you for us to talk about it privately. It's for us to talk about it like this.
But
we didn't have to do a live about it though.
Well, no, I figured it was live, so do a live.
No, if it would have been reversed, I wouldn't have needed.
You remember you said I ain't you. You remember you already said it. You were emotional several
okay,
times.
No so if it was me, and you did that to me, I wouldn't have done it live. I'd have just talked to you privately, and I would have been content with whatever we talked about behind the scenes. I wouldn't have cared what's said. I don't care what's said about me.
See, this is how dumb a lot of Tommy fans are. This is how dumb they are. Anybody who watches me knows that I'm not a Democrat. Only an idiot assumes that I'm a Democrat. If you looked at my shows for the last 2-3 years, you would understand that guy is not a Democrat. Tommy kisses the behind of white people. He's never wrong about anything. He's crying about the comment section. He's overly emotional, but his fans are so weak that they'll never admit these things. Anybody who disagrees with Tommy, they believe that they think anybody, if you disagree with Tommy, they'll call you a Democrat. That's how foolish and absent-minded his audience is. If you watch me, listen, if you watch me, you ain't even got to watch me a lot. If you watch me here and there, and you'll realize, like, nah, Red ain't no Democrat. You know what I mean? I'm against everything that the Democrats do. And I'm not a Republican either. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. I'm not a liberal, conservative, Republican, or Democrat. Listen, it takes an idiot to call me a Democrat. So that's a Tommy Sotomayor fan.
Publicly. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I still say to you, when you say you don't care, I get that you don't care, but you also stated we're different.
Facts.
You stated it.
That's evident.
So if we are different, I would then expect that this person who's different, like you said, where they most
came on.
Tommy was over there begging white people for acceptance. And none of his fans have a problem with that because they lack character, they lack morality. So they don't mind Tommy begging white people to like him. They don't have a problem with Tommy on his knees begging white daddy for acceptance. None of his fans has a problem with that. And they got the nerve to call somebody low IQ. If Tommy put on a dress and got in bed with a white man, Tommy's fans will make an excuse for it. That's how pathetic his fans are. If Tommy put on a lace front wig, some high heels, and a mini skirt and got in bed with a white man, Tommy fans will make an excuse for it. They say, man, Tommy was just playing. He didn't mean that, man. That was a parody, man. Tommy was just playing. Tommy fans makes excuses for everything he does. Tommy was over there begging white people on his knees. He tried to form an alliance with some racist white guys. And none of his fans had a problem with it. Why? Because they don't stand for anything. So why would they have a problem with Tommy doing it when they don't stand for anything? These are the same people who make excuses for everything that Tommy does. They have no integrity. They have no morality. So what do we really expect?
You see, I came on your platform. You didn't say it.
But wait a minute. When it even happened, how did it happen? I text you and said, I'm going to go live, and told you exactly what I was going to go live about. I said the first part of what you said. Because the reason I do it, now here's why I want you to understand.
In my response, I laughed. No, that wasn't my first response. He was like, I'm about to address what happened last night. I said, what you mean? And you said, on my show, I sent you an end of the show, so I'm going to address it. I said, okay, what did I say? I said, because I forgot about it. You said, LOL, I don't remember. We laughing. I said, it's the beginning. I sent you a bunch of laughing emojis. And I said, man, I said something like, I can't be that show with ass talk, LOL. My audience ain't going to like it, LOL. Wasn't a big deal to me. Don't let people play us like that. That's what I said. Right. I said, if you go live and you need me to come on the show, I will. You went live. So here I am.
No, again, if people don't understand, here's why I wanted to do it live. Because you have an audience of people that, in my view, are part of the bigger problem with black folks.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not allowing my comment.
You're not allowing me to say my opinion on my show.
No, I'm not allowing my chat to be put any different than anybody else's chat. Your chat is the same exact chat as mine.
Well, show them. We can show them. I'll put it on the screen.
I don't need that.
No. Then we could say that we're the same exact. If somebody told me that my car is the same exact as yours, I would show them a picture of it.
All chats have trolls. All chats don't agree. I don't control what people put in the chat. I don't care what people. Everybody.
You can't control what
I'm on a lot of live streams, a lot of panels, and when I look,
Tommy always crying about what's going on in the chat room. Why not focus on the conversation between you and Cap? Why do you care? Why do you care about the chat so much? Because Tommy is a sensitive, overly emotional beta male. Tommy is a sensitive, overly emotional beta male. That's why he can't focus on the conversation. He's always crying about what people say in the chat. He's a beta male. He's very sensitive, emotional. You might as well get a man some tampons. Focus on the conversation with Cap. Stop crying about the comments.
Look at the comments in the panels. Everybody says wild shit about everybody. People talk about me in my own chat.
Okay, well, I'll explain it this way then. If you tell me you don't worry about what your chat say, you let them say what they want to say, as long as they don't say nothing about your mama, then I would assume
anybody's mama.
Anybody's mama.
Or daddy, like daddy, kids, shit like that.
I'll let you give the reign, but I'm still going to use the reign once you say it. I'm going to use the reign for myself. I'm going to say, if you allow them to do it, well, I ain't disrespected you, your mama, or nobody. So when I was saying what I was saying, how I felt about your audience, since your audience is allowed to say whatever they feel about me, somebody give me an amen. I should be able to say it on my own platform, what I feel about them. Not be told, I ain't going to let you do that. Because if you'd done that about me,
I have done that about you, though.
No, they were able to do it, and you said,
no, that's Cap.
Because right now, you would have said, again, they're still doing it.
When you was talking about,
they're still doing it. They're still talking about me. They're still doing it. They're still doing, just crying about the comments every day. You sensitive, overly emotional beta male crybaby. This is beta male behavior. Tommy Sotomayor is a weak man.
My chat being the worst or being that, I'm not allowing that. But when we
You're
have
not
done
allowing it
it,
on
when we
your
have
show.
done
I
it,
understand that. You're
when
not
we-
allowing it on your side. So you can mute, you can leave, either one. But I'm not gonna hold my tongue if they ain't gotta hold their tongue.
I'm not telling you to hold your tongue. I'm just not holding mine
You're
either.
not gonna allow it.
Right.
So
I'm
apparently you're gonna overtalk me as I talk. Is that how
no,
you're
but
gonna
when
stop me?
no, but when you talk, I'll just talk back. That's all I'm when I'm
That's
saying
what I'm
that,
asking. So you saying you're gonna overtalk me as I do it?
I don't think
So I can't do it?
Well, the only person that actually was interrupted was when I was talking after I let you talk. But I think, and that just
So I
happened.
put my finger up and you said, is there something you'd like to say?
Right. That's still
Not
interruption.
interruption.
Putting a finger up is still that's a polite interruption.
I
So
even said I will let you continue.
Right, I
said,
agree.
is there
But
one
putting that
thing to
finger
say?
up is a polite interruption. But it's not that deep. Like as men, you might cut somebody off. I'm not saying you can't say what you say. When I'm saying I'm not gonna let that happen, after you say, I'll respond. It's not about not
No, I
letting
don't
you.
mind.
Just like me, I don't control what people say in my comment section. People come to my comment section to disagree with me. You're gonna have subscribers, you're gonna have trolls, then you're gonna have neutrals. You got subscribers, trolls, and people who are neutral. You're gonna get all of that in the comment section. Who cares about the chat room, Tommy? Focus on the conversation like a man. I'm gonna mail Tommy a lace front wig, some lipstick, and some high heels because he behaves the same way as the women he complains about. Tommy's no different than the women he talks about. Overly emotional, sassy, a diva, and a crybaby.
You responding. I'm just saying, I keep trying to just say it though. I said, but I'm still going to say it after you said this. I said, but I'm still going to say it. I would like to say it because my thoughts are this is a group of people. I speak about blacks and I've been doing it since 2009.
Yeah, I've been saying this a long time ago. Like, Captain, why are you sitting on panels with raccoons, bro? Everybody Tommy hangs around is a raccoon. That's all he surrounds himself with. Tommy surrounds himself with yes men and other raccoons. Captain Tazaryach was way out of place even sitting on them panels with Tommy. I said it last month. I don't know why Cap sits on these panels with Tommy. It's one thing to have a cordial conversation with him here and there, but to sit on panels with him weekly, every week, when Tommy, listen, everybody that hangs around Tommy is a fellow raccoon and a yes man. Those guys got to agree with Tommy just to maintain a friendship with him. So they're yes men. Angry Man had no problem accepting correction from Tommy, but Angry Man won't accept correction from anybody else except for Tommy. Tommy is the only person that's going to correct Angry Man, and Angry Man will accept it. Anybody else, Angry Man is not going to accept correction from anybody else. He's not going to accept correction from anybody unless it's Tommy. Let me put it like that. All those guys who sit on panels with Tommy, they go along to get along with him and never call him out for his BS. Because they're too afraid to have a disagreement with Tommy because, man, if I have a disagreement with Tommy, he ain't going to be my friend no more. So they avoid saying anything to Tommy. I knew, listen, I said it's only going to be so long before Captain Tazaryach and Tommy fall out because let the truth be told, Captain Tazaryach had no place being on those panels with all those raccoons that be hanging around Tommy. Angry Man, raccoon, all those guys over there. That's exactly what they are. Everybody that Tommy hangs around with is anti-FBA. Anybody that, and listen, you ain't got to be FBA to stand for blackness. Listen, if you stand for blackness, all those guys who hang around Tommy, they are anti-FBA. They're raccoons, man. Let's just make a long let's make a long story short, man.
Tearing down and building is two different things. When you watch somebody get a joy and a kick, because you told me not to let people do so.
I get it, Cap, but Tommy is a waste of time, bro. You're not going to get anywhere talking to Tommy because, for one, Tommy's never wrong about anything. He's overly emotional. He's a sensitive diva. And he'll never admit when he's wrong about anything. I said it from day one. I said, Cap is too real to be over there with Tommy. All those guys over there that hang with Tommy are certified raccoons. They'll never admit the truth. All of those guys have disdain for Black Americans, FBA, or anybody that stand for blackness. They have a disdain for that. Tommy was over there begging racist white men to accept him. Begging racist white men he wanted to have an alliance with racist white men. That's how much of a clown Tommy Sotomayor is.
So. And I'm telling you about, if you take something like what's going on in my show to a group of niggas that already don't like me and tell me this ain't my shit, it's taking.
That's true, Cap. Everybody think they right, but at some point, you got a lot of people who are willing to listen to the other point. It don't matter how many facts you present to Tommy, he's never wrong about anything. And he falls out with everybody he was cool with. The only time, listen, Tommy falls out with everybody that he was cool with. Listen, you got to be listen, in order to stay cool with Tommy, you got to be a yes man. Anybody that stands for anything eventually is going to fall out with Tommy. All those guys you see around Tommy now, they're yes men. They're too afraid to be honest with him, so they bite their tongue. They seen it just like I seen it. They seen Tommy over there begging white people to accept him. They seen Tommy over there begging white people to like him. Tommy is the same guy who said we need more George Zimmermans. We need Darren Wilson. We need white folks to exterminate black people. I don't see how any black man can be cool with Tommy and never hold him accountable for that. Like, hold on, Tommy, what was that, man? You said we need more George Zimmermans. White people need to arm themselves and fire upon black people. He wished the KKK would come back and eliminate more blacks. He said it last night. He said he wished the Ku Klux Klan would come back to do harm to black folks. He said it last night when he was on his rant. So my thing is this: if you stand for anything, you're not going to be able. If you stand for anything, it's impossible to be cool with Tommy. It's only so long that you're going to be cool with him. Then eventually you're going to fall out. The only guys who stay cool with Tommy are the people that's willing to bite these are the guys who are willing to bite their tongue and kiss his behind. So they avoid saying anything to maintain a friendship with Tommy. All of those guys are yes men. The only person Angry Man will accept correction from is Tommy. Outside of Tommy, Angry Man is not going to accept correction from anyone. Angry Man even bowed down and kissed Tommy's ring. Angry Man even bowed down and kisses Tommy's behind. And that's crazy, but I've seen it so many times.
That small pebble, and they turn it into a boulder. They will keep doing it if you do it. Now, somebody else can tell me, oh, that's sensitive and all that. But at a certain point, then I'll say, let me walk away since people think it's funny. Because I'm not going to go places where people think it's cute. Where my name is Tammy, where I'm Mr. Sensitive every 5 seconds, where you got your emotions on your shoulder. I was that person before I met you, any of you. And if you're going to sit up there and have a problem with that, because I don't do that. I ain't sit up there and had a problem with who Cap was when that's who he was when I met him. I ain't sit up there and try to tell y'all he do this, he do that, when that's who he was when I met him. And you're right. If the shoe fits, you are perfectly right. Put on a dress. You are right. And all it made me realize is when people will go and give them that pebble, they'll give.
Cap pretty much said, Tommy, let it go. Let's move on. Tommy couldn't move on. Cap looked at it like, man, there's water under the bridge. Let's move on. Tommy is so sensitive and so emotional, like a diva, that he couldn't let it go. He kept crying about the comments. He kept crying about the small things. It's impossible to stand for something. It's impossible to stand for something and still be cool with Tommy. That's impossible. If you stand for something, you're not going to be cool with Tommy. You're not going to get along with somebody like Tommy if you stand for anything. It takes a yes man to be cool with Tommy. It takes a yes man to have a friendship with Tommy. Tommy wants an echo chamber. Now, every now and then he likes a debate. But the real thing is this: for you to be cool with him, for you to hang around him on a daily basis, you got to be a yes man of his.
Give it to him because it didn't have to. because I invited you into my house. And if you go and show somebody I got some shimmery lotion in my bathroom, and now they saying he gay, you didn't say that's my girl's lotion. Just said, oh, I see this nigga's lotion. I'm about to be out. To pretend you don't think that the people that you showed it to, who already don't like me, and now it's just sitting there, 2,000 people later, that is something wrong with me. I'm a weirdo because you brought these people into my house when I invited you into my house. If y'all don't see that, that's an issue right there that I just publicly stated it, so I don't have to say it nowhere else, because it's sad that I'm mainly talking to y'all who the pebble was taken to. The pebble was taken to y'all. The pebble was given to y'all. And that's why, and I want all y'all who watch me to just watch how the comment section is going on both of them. These niggas wait. And that would be my problem if you take it to them. That's it. You're right.
Shout out to Mississippi Macho for the super chat. Shout out to my girl Evelyn for the Cash App. Let's go.
Do talk too much. I'm all that. I can promise you though. And I just want y'all to, I ain't even gonna say nothing else. Yeah, they say the trolls start trouble. You can see the numbers. And that's why I put the number, that's why I made the title what it was. This was me showing the proof of what I'm saying. I don't have to lie. I'll show it to you. 727 wasn't 727 last night.
Yes, it was
727. 727 of what? Can't stop talking.
When you left,
words.
When I left that live stream, it was 7. I can get 7. It's not. If we, I don't want to get into no numbers game.
No, I'm talking about the idea of the hate. The hate got something to say. The hate.
My room wasn't about hate yesterday when I got to 7. My Car Chronicles get 7. My Car Chronicles get thousands live while I'm live. So what it sounds like, and the only solution is that you would have to tell me I could never bring my audience over. You right. Let me be quiet.
No, you should.
We're talking each other. We could be like even this right here talking. You're over talking me. Chat. So go into people's lives, joint or otherwise, and expect it to be friendly.
And
when you just asked me not to interrupt you. You just asked me not to interrupt you, and I let you talk.
I didn't ask you. I didn't say don't interrupt me. I never had no conversation.
You just said, are we gonna have a conversation where you're gonna not let me talk? That's what you said.
I said, don't tell me what I cannot say.
No, you said, are you gonna interrupt me when I'm talking, when I'm trying to say what I'm saying?
Are you going to? I said, will you just overtalk me? Is that
Chronicles get 7?
Let's go back.
Car Chronicles get thousands live while I'm live. So what it sounds like, and the only solution is that you would have to tell me I could never bring my audience over. Because what my audience is doing today is what they have done every TNT show we've done. Because like you just said, you talk about black people, you talk about the black woman, you're the antagonizer. Some of the things you say about black people, I agree. Some things you say about black people, I don't agree. So you can't antagonize black people and then go into chats or go into people's lives, joint or otherwise, and expect it to be friendly.
Camp is right about that. If you think about the things that Tommy has said about blacks over the years, why would it be friendly for Tommy when we know the things that he said about black people? He said we need more George Zimmermans, we need Darren Wilson, we need white people to arm themselves and fire upon black people. I want the Ku Klux Klan to exterminate black people. So why would people be friendly to you, Tommy? At some point, they're going to hold you accountable. But Tommy don't want to be held accountable. Tommy wants to be right about everything that he says or does. He justifies his nonsense. So Cap is 100% correct. A lot of people remember what you said, so they don't have nice things to say about you. And that comes with the territory. You got to take that on the chin, Tommy. Tommy can dish it, but he can't take it. You call black women this and whatever. I don't have a problem with that. Like when you said, okay, whatever. That's your opinion. But don't get mad when people give you the same thing that you dish out. Tommy can dish it, but he can't take it. Tommy is a whine and crybaby. Tommy is a weak beta male. He's a diva. He's always crying about the comments. Think about it like this. Tommy, listen, whose name called people more than Tommy? Who's cursed and yelled at people more than Tommy on this platform? Nobody, really. So to hear Tommy cry about the things that people say in the comment section is ridiculous. That's hypocrisy. Tommy can dish it, but clearly he can't take it. Tommy is a weak beta male.
But when you just asked me not to interrupt you, you just asked me not to interrupt you, and I let you talk.
I didn't ask you. I didn't say don't interrupt me. I never had no conversation.
You just said, are we gonna have a conversation where you gonna not let me talk? That's what you said.
I said, don't tell me what I cannot say.
No, you said, are you gonna interrupt me when I'm talking, when I'm trying to say what I'm saying?
Are you going to, I said, will you just overtalk me? Is that how you're gonna stop me?
That's what you're doing now, over talking me while I'm talking. While I'm talking, you're over talking me. So you asked for the respect I gave it, you got to give it.
That's not what I asked for. Don't tell me something.
If you didn't want me to overtalk you, you wouldn't have said, are you going to overtalk me? And then I got quiet. And now as I talk, you should not overtalk me while I'm talking. That's what you should not do.
I asked for.
But I'm saying, don't
overtalk somebody, Tommy, but at the same time, ask them to not overtalk you. That's exactly what he's saying. He did that to me when I had a conversation with him. And when I said, this is why I feel that you're a raccoon, he started yelling. He started over talking. We couldn't even have a logical conversation. He started complaining about the comment section. He kept complaining about, well, you said you called me crispy. 70% of the conversation was him complaining about the fact that I called him crispy instead of him sticking to the conversation, instead of him sticking to the topic of the conversation. We spent 70% of the time. He spent 70% of the time was spent on him complaining about the chat and him complaining about the fact that I called him crispy and I'm supposed to be a pro-black, so I should never say that about another black person. He spent 70% of his time complaining and arguing about that. Tommy is a crybaby. He's a diva and a certified beta male. Go ahead and get Tommy a lace front wig. Tell Tommy, listen, mail Tommy a lace front wig and give him some high heels. Put your pants on, Tommy. Take your skirt off, B.
Overtalk me if you didn't want to get overtalked, or we could just be over talking each other. We could be like, even this right here is getting away from me talking. You ain't even got to say what you're asking for. You talk while I was talking. I pointed out I didn't talk for you. You should say, you know what, Cap? You right. Let me be quiet.
No, you should have said, please let me finish. Like I said.
I have to say that.
That would have been fine.
You didn't say,
you didn't. You said like you asked for. When you tell me what I asked for, I'm going to tell you that's not what I asked for. If you stop saying you did it,
no sweat. Can I finish? Can I finish without you talking?
No, that's yes.
So can you be quiet now? Thank you.
I can let you finish.
As I said, no, you're not letting me be quiet.
Now. You said that quiet now. Hold on, hold on.
He asked you to be quiet, Tommy. See, Tommy is overly emotional and saying he got his hand like a woman. You know how a woman like no girl, no girl. Here go Tommy being sassy with his hand up. Captain Tazaryach said, "Can you be quiet and let me speak?" Instead of Tommy saying, "Okay, go ahead." He got emotional. You ain't gonna be telling me now. You ain't gonna be telling me to be quiet. He put his hands on his hip. He got sassy. Look at his hand right there. You know how a woman put her hand in like, no, you didn't. That's what Tommy is doing. No, you didn't.
You right. Let me be quiet.
No, you should have said, please let me finish. Like I said.
I have to say
that would have been fine.
You didn't say,
you said like you asked for. When you tell me what I asked for, I'm going to tell you that's not what I asked for. If you stop saying you did it,
no sweat. Can I finish? Can I finish without you talking?
No, that's yes.
So can you be quiet now? Thank you.
I can let you finish.
As I said, no, you're not letting me be quiet.
Now. You said that quiet now. Hold on, hold on. I'm not your child. I'm not your child. I don't have to be quiet now. You're not
gonna tell me, no, you didn't. No, you didn't tell me to be quiet. You ain't gonna talk to me like no, you didn't. Tommy got sassy like the diva he is. All Cap was saying is, look, dude, be quiet. You're over talking me, but you don't want me to over talk you. Now it's my time to speak and you won't be quiet. Can you please be quiet? Oh, sassy.
Talk to me like that because I ain't disrespected you. Watch your mouth.
Retarded. I don't have to watch any. I do not have to watch anything. I do not have to watch anything. I do not have to watch. Being quiet. You said that quiet now.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm not your child. I'm not your child. I don't have to be quiet now. You're not gonna talk to me like that because I ain't disrespected you. Watch your mouth.
Retarded.
And now when it's
I don't
talk
have.
like
I don't
that,
have to
you
watch
go on.
any. I do not
Be
have
quiet.
to watch anything.
Be
I do not have to
quiet.
watch anything. I do
Be
not have to watch.
quiet.
I do
You
not have to
don't.
watch anything.
Hold on, bro. You don't. You ain't gonna talk to me that
This
way.
is
'cause
sad.
don't
Just
talk to me that way.
remember, I text
You're
you
not
and
gonna
said,
talk to me
just
that way. I
remember,
promise you
I
that.
text you
You're
and
not.
said, don't let the people play us like that. I text you
When I
that.
just told you, you don't
All
tell me to
you
be
can do-
quiet. You know what that sound like from man to man. I ain't told you that. And if you're gonna
somebody
act
asks me
like
to
you
be
don't
quiet,
know,
if
but
somebody
telling another
asks
grown
me
man
to be
to
quiet
be
and I'm
quiet,
interrupting
who said
them,
to you,
I'll be
you
quiet.
good.
I'll be quiet. If I'm interrupting them and they say, "Can you be quiet?"
You didn't let Angry Man talk to you like that. Stop lying.
That's
That's a
because
lie.
he was
You ain't gonna let
interrupting.
no man talk to you like that.
He interrupted me like you are. That's why I didn't.
Sir, you're not gonna let some man
Me
tell
like
you
I
to be
was
quiet,
talking like
especially to
you are.
somebody else to be cool with. If you can't control yourself,
crazy,
because
yo.
they ain't disrespected you. If
I
you
ain't
can't control
What
yourself
you
and
talking about?
disrespect come out your mouth that easy,
What-
we ain't never been cool. Because no matter what I've done, no matter how my
What
voice
you
is
talking
raised,
about?
I ain't
What
disrespected you.
What
Have
disrespect?
I disrespected you?
What disrespect did I
Have-
give?
Be quiet. Oh, if you
Be-
don't believe, man, we don't have to say nothing else. You don't believe telling a grown man be quiet when he literally stood up there and said, that's fine, we good.
I don't. And like I
I
said,
get it.
so
Hey, I'm an
finish now?
emotional one, but I will
Can
never let a grown man
can I
sit there and
finish
tell me to
now?
be quiet. You good.
He asked you. He didn't say, be quiet, fool. Let's add proper context to this. He said, can you be quiet? Because you kept going on and on. Cap asked you, can you be quiet and let me speak? Stop over talking me. First, Captain Tazaryach said, Tommy, stop over talking me. He asked you 3 times to stop over talking him. Then eventually he said, all right, man, can you be quiet? He asked you politely, can you be quiet? Tommy felt disrespected. He put his hands up. He put his hands on his hip and he got into his diva saying, no, you didn't. And no, you didn't. You can't tell me to be quiet. No, you didn't. Well, Cap, like, well, what am I supposed to do? I asked you to stop over talking me several times. Then eventually I said, can you be quiet? And Tommy got sassy. He got in his diva stance, put his hands on his hips and started wagging his hand in the air, just like a diva, an emotional female. The man said, can you be quiet? Can you be quiet long enough so that I can speak? Tommy can't do it. Tommy's emotional like a diva.
If I'm interrupting them, and they say, can you be quiet?
You didn't let Angry Man talk to you like that. Stop lying.
That's
a lie.
He was
You ain't gonna let no man talk to you like that.
He interrupted me like you are. That's why I didn't.
Sir, you're not gonna let some man tell you to be quiet, especially to somebody else to be cool with. If you can't control yourself, because they ain't disrespected you.
Well, I disagree with that, Cap. Angry Man was arguing too. And you told Angry Man he was arguing like a woman. Cap, let's be real, Cap. Angry Man was arguing. He was arguing and over talking. Cap told Angry Man he was behaving like a woman, and maybe if Angry Man got some box, he wouldn't be so angry and frustrated. That's exactly what Cap told Angry Man. The same way that Tommy was over talking and arguing was the same way that Angry Man was over talking and arguing, because Angry Man is very sensitive and emotional, just like Tommy. The only difference is one is light skinned, one is dark skinned. Angry Man is emotional and sensitive, just like Tommy. All facts. No cap.
Can't control yourself and disrespect come out your mouth that easy, we ain't never been cool. Because no matter what I've done, no matter how my voice is raised, I ain't disrespected you. Have I disrespected you?
What disrespect did I give?
Be quiet. Oh, if you don't believe, man, we don't have to say nothing else. You don't believe telling a grown man be quiet when he literally stood up there and said, that's fine, we good.
I don't. And like I said,
hey, I'm an emotional one, but I will never let a grown man sit there and tell me be quiet. We good.
Can I finish now?
No, once you tell me be quiet, we good.
So what does that mean?
All right.
He said, can I finish now? He didn't say, hey, man, be quiet, fool. He didn't say that. Let's add proper context. He said, can you be quiet so I can speak? The man asked you politely to be quiet so that he can speak. He didn't disrespect you by saying, shut up, fool, be quiet. He didn't say that, Tommy. You kept over talking. He asked you nicely to stop over talking. That didn't work, so he moved on to say, can you be quiet? He said it in a respectful way. Tommy got so sensitive and emotional, he put his hands on his head. You can't tell me to be quiet. Girl, you ain't gonna tell me to be quiet, girl. Tommy got sassy and emotional and started wagging his hand. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't tell me to be quiet. Tommy is sassy. Sassy. Is that a word? Sassy. No, Tommy is sassy, sensitive, and very emotional. Tommy is a certified diva. The man asked you nicely to stop over talking him several times, Tommy. Then he moved the goalpost. He didn't move, not the goalpost. Then he said, okay, that's not gonna work. Then he said, can you be quiet? Can you be quiet? Oh no, you didn't.
Man, I'm not gonna let no man talk to me like that. And I don't know no man that will let another man tell
So
him.
you saying we not talking?
I
So you
tell them
saying
calm down and let them talk.
So you saying
Thank you. Y'all meet people saying I'm a woman, I'm good, I'm all that stuff.
So is that it? So you're saying I can't. So you're saying I can't finish now?
No, sir. I don't want to talk anymore to somebody to tell me be quiet. I think it's done at that point. We're good. We should leave there because I don't want to say nothing disrespectful to you. You had no problem saying
anything disrespectful to you.
I don't know no man that would listen to another man tell him to be quiet.
I didn't say shut the fuck up. I didn't say shut your mouth. I didn't say watch your mouth. I didn't say those things. That's disrespectful.
I gotta be him.
Tommy, the man asked you nicely to stop over talking him. Then he said, okay, can you be quiet? He didn't say shut up, fool, and be quiet. He didn't say that. Context matters. He asked you to be quiet. He didn't tell you, hey, fool, you need to be quiet. Can you be quiet, Tommy? Can I finish my point? I need you to be quiet. Can you? That's what the man said.
Y'all notice I gotta be him. I gotta be him. I gotta think.
You don't. You gotta understand my lens. So if be quiet is not a big deal to me, but it is
go
a big
around
deal to you. I won't
go around tell any man. Go and do that to any man. Tell him be quiet. See how well
let me finish. I say be quiet.
See how well be quiet. In my world, all you gotta do is say, hey man, if you take that as an offense, my bad, bro, because I'm not trying to offend you.
Cap is trying to explain his position, but Tommy won't be quiet. He keeps talking. He's emotional like a diva. Cap is saying, hey, this is the context that I said it in. Can you be quiet? Can I finish my point? Tommy won't be quiet. Tommy continues to overtalk.
I'm an answer. I didn't say
told me step on my foot, even if it's something I don't do. I gotta be him. Y'all notice I gotta be him. I gotta be him. I gotta think.
You don't, but you gotta understand my lens. So if be quiet is not a big deal to me, but it is a big deal to you. I won't
go around tell any man. Go and do that to any man. Tell him be quiet. See how well it
let me finish. I say be quiet.
See how be quiet. In my world, all you gotta do is say, hey man, if you take that as an offense, my bad.
Shut up, Tommy. The man, captain, is trying his best to explain his position. The man asked you to stop over talking him. You didn't listen to that, so he said, "Can you be quiet?" Then you got offended and started wagging your hand around like the sassy diva you are.
Bro, because I'm not trying to offend you.
I'm an answer. I'm an answer. In my world, on my Car Chronicles, you can look at my chat. My chat, put a 3 in there. If I tell brothers and sisters if they over talking to be quiet and they be quiet without getting offended, I do it all the time. So what I said to you is what I normally do to people that are in.
But when I told you that normally don't fly with me, what you do?
I just said, well,
and Tommy, he didn't even say be quiet, fool. He said, can you be quiet? He asked you to be quiet. He didn't tell you to be quiet. He asked you. And you got sassy. You got emotional. You start wagging your hand around. Oh, no, he didn't tell me to be quiet. Oh, no, he didn't. You're a diva, Tommy. You're sassy.
Can I finish?
No.
You said no.
You told me I shouldn't find a problem with it.
I didn't think you
told me I shouldn't find a problem with what I have a problem with. Imagine if I told you you shouldn't have a problem with what I was saying yesterday, and you should stay on.
I didn't have a problem. If you would have,
your audience shouldn't have a problem. They should stay on.
When I text you and said I'm gonna let y'all rock this week, if you would have said, "Nah, Cap, come on back," I would have came back. I text you. You saw the text eventually. If you would have texted me and said, "Nah, Cap, it ain't that type of time. Don't do that. Come back," I would have came fucking back. It wouldn't have been that deep. I would have been like, "Oh, Tommy said come back." I'd have made a joke about it. Say, "Oh, they must have changed the subject. Let me go back," because I am not that type of fucking man. I'm not
But I
that
told
type
you
of
the
man.
subject was going to change.
No. When I
No, I told
said,
you the subject was gonna change. I
you
wanted
said,
you.
yeah.
I sent you
But
the
when
link.
you
I wanted
said the
to say it.
subject was going to change and I kept watching, it didn't change. That's why I text you and said, I'm going to let y'all rock with it. And if you would have texted me back and said, nah, Cap, come on back because we got this subject here, I would have came back. This
And
is
if I'd have done that, then I'd have been the same bitch that's still calling me saying you've been begging that bitch. That's my point.
how
You
would
get
you
on
have
the
been that?
level and they keep carrying it, and you're just
Diabolical to
watching them
think
do
that
it.
you compared to a bitch because you're getting a brother to come back to the show. That's what you think about yourself.
Bro, you're coming. You just comments just said it.
What does the comments? You and I are. This is why I said I didn't want to do it on the internet. Fuck the comments. Who gives a fuck about you? The only every time you talk to me, you let the comments control what you say with me.
Because
and
I told
that
you.
is emotional.
Was making
Be
point.
a fucking man and talk to me like a man.
There you go.
Fuck the comments. Not
okay,
the
there you go again.
See, Cap is saying, forget the comments and talk to me like a man. Talk to me like a man, Tommy. Why do you keep talking about the comments? Why? Because Tommy is a sassy diva. Cap said, man, talk to me like a man. I don't care about the comments. Your people are saying things about me in your comments. Do I care about it? No. I'm not even paying attention to the comments. Speak to me like a man. Forget the comments.
Hold on.
Why can't we talk to each other without the comments? Is the third part.
I haven't insulted you.
The comments are the niggas that edit on. The comments are the niggas and bitches that.
I told you guys, listen, man. I told you guys last month, I said Tommy and Captain gonna fall out because if Captain Tazaryach is serious about this blackness and all this white man stuff he's talking, there's no way he's gonna be cool with Tommy for too long. They gotta fall out. Because when you think about what Captain Tazaryach stands for versus what Tommy stands for, it doesn't mix. Tommy is a Sambo who begs white people for acceptance, who wanted to form an alliance with racist white man. Captain Tazaryach stands against everything that the white man has done in this country. So there's no way that these guys are going to get along with each other because they're too different. Tommy doesn't mind twerking for white people to get butter biscuits and recognition. Captain Tazaryach is the opposite of that. So it's no way that they were going to get along. There's no way that they were going to maintain this brotherhood and friendship. It's no way. If you stand for something, you're not going to be cool with Tommy for too long. It's not going to happen.
Egg two black men on, and you're letting the comments do that to you.
Egging. No one's egging that you insulted me twice.
I did not.
And I ain't insulted you once.
You insult me every time you let the damn comments dictate what you say to me.
Sir,
you got more anger at you do me.
Y'all see how this works? I insult him.
And Tommy snitched on me and got my channel flagged. I got the email to prove it. Tommy snitched on me and got my channel flagged. I have the email to prove it. Tommy is a sassy diva.
Let the comments dictate that this man sat right here and told me. I done told him, watch that shit you saying because you see what they're doing with it.
And you done sat here. You said every time you talk, you lead with what a nigga say in the chat.
Be a man.
What a nigga say in the chat.
I'm trying to tell you now because of the comment. You're right. I shouldn't have broadcasted live. You are 1,000% right. I am not a man. I'm everything all y'all keep saying, and you keep feeding it to him. I'm gonna let you go because I'm not gonna let you keep feeding to nobody that.
See, once again, Tommy don't want to be held accountable. The man asked you nicely to stop over talking him. Then he said, "Can you be quiet?" But Tommy said he was disrespected, and Tommy, you were not disrespected. When you were speaking, Cap let you speak. When Cap began to speak, you started over talking him, and he asked you several times to stop over talking him. Then eventually he said, "Can you be quiet?" And Tommy got offended. Tommy felt disrespected because the man asked him to be quiet. Tommy, you're a sassy diva.
I'm a bitch and not a man. I ain't talked to you that way this whole time.
Make sure that you guys bless the like button. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure that you bless the like button now. The man asked you nicely to stop over talking. The man asked you nicely to be quiet. Instead of Tommy saying, "Okay, you know what, go ahead, take the floor." Tommy got sassy. He got emotional. He got in his feelings. He started crying. He put his hands in the air and said, "Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't tell me to be quiet." sassy, emotional.
Time. Be a man. Y'all gotta watch how y'all talking to people, man. But it's cool. I'm not from where you from, and you different. I need to be more of a man, like how you saying it. I appreciate you coming through. I read too many comments. I'm gonna let you go though. Let you go back to them. I'm gonna go back to my people. I appreciate you coming. Y'all see how this shit works?
Well, that was it right there, man. You guys seen it for yourself, man. I want to go back to the part where he said, hold on.
Game.
No, I'm talking about the idea of the hate. The hate got something to say. The hate.
My room wasn't about hate yesterday when I got to 7. Every team talking, you're over talking me. To be friendly.
And
But when you just asked me not to interrupt you. You just asked me not to interrupt you, and I let you talk.
I didn't ask you. I didn't say don't interrupt me. I never had no
conversation. You just said, are we going to have a conversation where you're going to not let me talk? That's what you said.
I said, don't tell me what I cannot say.
No, you said, are you going to interrupt me when I'm talking, when I'm trying to say what I'm saying?
Are you going to, I said, will you just over talk me? Is that how you're going to stop me?
That's what you're doing now, over talking me while I'm talking. While I'm talking, you're over talking me. So you asked for the respect I gave it. You got to give it.
That's not what I asked for. Don't tell me something.
If you didn't want me to over talk you, you wouldn't have said, are you going to over talk me? And then I got quiet. And now as I talk, you should not over talk me while I'm talking. That's what you should not do.
I asked for.
But I'm saying, don't over talk me if you didn't want to get over talked, or we could just be over talking each other. We could be like, even this right here is getting away from me talking. You ain't even got to say what you're asking for. You talk while I was talking. I pointed out I didn't talk for you. You should say, you know what, Cap? You right. Let me be quiet.
No, you should have said, please let me finish. Like I said.
I have to say that.
That would have been fine.
You didn't say,
you said like you asked for. When you tell me what I asked for, I'm going to tell you that's not what I asked for. If you stop saying you did it,
no sweat. Can I finish? Can I finish without you talking?
No, that's yes.
So can you be quiet now? Thank you.
I can let you finish.
As I said, no, you're not letting me be quiet.
You said to quiet now. Hold on. Well, hold on. I'm not your child. I'm not your child. I don't have to be quiet now. You know.
See, listen, I'm gonna take it right back here. He asked Tommy to stop over talking him. Then he said, can you be quiet? He didn't say, hey, fool, be quiet. He said, can you be quiet?
Right now. Thank you.
I can let you finish.
As I said, you right. Let me be quiet.
No, you should have said, please let me finish. Like I said.
I have to say that.
That would have been fine.
You didn't say,
you said like you asked for. When you tell me what I asked for, I'm going to tell you that's not what I asked for. If you stop saying you did it,
no sweat. Can I finish? Can I finish without you talking?
No, that's yes.
So can you be quiet now? Thank you.
I can let you finish.
As I said, no, you're not letting me be quiet.
Now. You said quiet now. Hold on. Well, hold on. I'm not your child. I'm not your child. I don't have to be quiet now. You're not gonna talk to me like that because I ain't disrespected you. Watch your mouth.
I don't have to watch any. I do not have to watch anything. I do not have to watch anything. I do not have to watch. I do not have to watch anything.
Hold on, bro. You don't. You ain't gonna talk to me that way.
Just remember. I text you and said.
Talk to me that way.
Remember, I text you and said, don't let the people play us like that. I text you that.
I just told you. You don't tell me to be quiet. You know what that sound like from man to man. I ain't told you that. And if you're gonna act like you don't know, but telling another grown man
to be quiet, I'm interrupting them. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. If I'm interrupting them, you be quiet.
You didn't let angry man talk to you like that. Stop lying.
That's a lie.
You ain't gonna let no man talk to you like that.
He interrupted me like you are. That's why I didn't.
Sir, you're not going to let some man tell you to be quiet, especially if somebody else will be cool with. If you can't control yourself, because they ain't disrespected you. If you can't control yourself, if disrespect come out your mouth that easy, we ain't never been cool. Because no matter what I've done, no matter how my voice is raised, I ain't disrespected you. Have I disrespected you?
What disrespect did I give?
Be quiet. Oh, you don't believe, man. We don't have to say nothing else. You don't believe telling a grown man be quiet?
No.
That's fine. We good.
I don't. And like I said,
I'm an emotional one, but I will never let a grown man sit and tell me be quiet. We good.
Shout out to DBJR75 for the super chat. I appreciate you for the super chat, my bro. He said respect for the game. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to everybody for supporting the show.
Can I finish now?
No, once you tell me be quiet, we good.
So what does that
I'm
mean?
all right, man.
So
I'm not gonna let no man talk to me like that, and I don't know no man that will let another man tell
so you
him.
saying we not
Quiet.
talking?
After they done calm down and let them talk.
So you saying
Thank you. Y'all meet people say I'm a woman. I'm good. I'm all that stuff.
So is that it? So you're saying I can't.
Wrong.
So you're saying I can't finish now?
No, sir. I don't want to talk anymore to somebody tells me be quiet. I think it's done at that point.
That's what
We're good. We should leave there because I don't want to say nothing disrespectful to you. You had no problem
saying anything disrespectful to you.
I don't know no man that would listen to another man tell him to be quiet.
I didn't say shut the fuck up. I didn't.
He asked you to be quiet. He didn't say, "Hey, fool, be quiet." He said, "Can you be quiet?" And the only reason that he said, "Can you be quiet?" because you kept talking. He said, "Stop over talking me, Tommy. Can you stop over talking?" Then he said, "Can you be quiet?" Which is pretty much the same thing. It's just worded differently. If I tell you to stop over talk, if I say, "Can you stop over talking? Can you stop over talking?" I repeat it 3 times. Then I'll go on and say, "Can you be quiet?" It's the same thing. It's basically the same thing. I just wanted to give you guys this to show you. And if you watch my content last month, you heard me say I clearly stated that Captain Tazaryach and Tommy Sotomayor, they were going to fall out. And people like, yep, Red, you did. You called it. You said it yourself, Red. You said Captain Tazaryach and Captain Tazaryach and Tommy Sotomayor, they're going to fall out real soon. Tommy falls out with everybody. If you stand for something, you're going to fall out with Tommy. Now, if you a yes man and you're willing to keep your lips closed just to stay cool with Tommy, then you're willing to bow down and kiss the ring, then you will be cool with him. But if you stand for something, you're not going to be cool with Tommy. That's just the reality of the situation, family. Nobody who stands for anything is cool with Tommy. That's just the honest to God truth.
You say shut your mouth. I didn't say watch your mouth.
And
I didn't
you
say
told
those
me
things.
step on my foot, even if it's something I don't do. I gotta be him.
That's
y'all notice I gotta be him. I gotta be him. I gotta think.
No, what he's saying is he didn't say you have to be like him, Tommy. What he said was stop being emotional and sensitive. Stop reading the chat. Stop over talking men when they speak. Fall back and stop complaining about the chat room. That's what he said. In other words, he was saying man up and stop being sensitive. Who cares about what's being said in the chat? It's me and you. We're having a one-on-one conversation. Forget the chat. Pretend like the chat doesn't exist. But Tommy's too sensitive and emotional to do that. It's damn near impossible dealing with Tommy. If you stand for anything, you're not going to be friends with Tommy. I promise you that.
You got to understand
you can be cordial with Tommy from a distance, but sitting on panels with him every week, there's no way you can sit on panels with Tommy every week if you really stand for something. It's not going to work. Having a conversation with him time to time, yes, you can do that because you're not dealing with him like that. You deal with him from a distance. But when you hang out with Tommy every week on panels and you stand for something, that's not going to work. Tommy needs yes men around him, like the guys he hangs with, like the guys that he hang with on them panels. Angry Man, listen, Angry Man allowed Tommy to correct him. Angry Man is not going to take correction from anybody outside of Tommy. Angry Man ain't going to take correction from anybody outside of Tommy. No, of course he will argue that that's not true, but for the most part, that is true. When Captain Tazaryach and Angry Man had a back and forth, Tommy said, Angry Man, you were wrong about this. And Angry Man humbled himself to listen to Tommy. You're not going to see Angry Man humble himself to listen to anybody outside of Tommy. So it proves my point. These guys are willing to kiss Tommy's behind to stay friends with him. So they bite their tongue. They don't say nothing. They pretend like they didn't hear Tommy saying we need more George Zimmermans. They pretend like they didn't see Tommy begging those white supremacists for acceptance. They pretend like they didn't see Tommy begging white supremacists for acceptance. They pretend like they didn't see it. So they overlook it. They look past it. I know Tommy was shoe shining white men over there, but I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't want to ruin our friendship. So I'm not going to say anything about it. That's the mindset of the guys who hang around Tommy. They don't stand for nothing. And that's the only reason that they're cool with Tommy in the first place.
Lynn, so if be quiet is not a big deal to me, But it is
Go
a
around
to you. I won't
go
say
around, tell him any man, go and do that to any man. Tell him be quiet. See how well it
let
goes.
me finish. I say be quiet.
See how
Again,
well be quiet goes to any man.
Shout out to Royalty, man. I wanted to get Royalty a shout out for blessing the Cash App. Let's get some more of you brothers to bless the Cash App if you appreciate this content.
All you gotta do is say, hey man, you know, if you take that as an offense, my bad, bro, because I'm not trying to offend you.
I'm gonna
That's
answer.
what brothers will do.
I'm gonna answer.
Not
In my world, on my Car Chronicles, you can look at my chat. My chat, put a 3 in there. If I tell brothers and sisters if they over talking to be quiet and they be quiet without getting offended, I do it all the time.
And he said, "Can you be quiet?" There's a difference between me saying, "Hey, fool, be quiet." There's a difference between me saying that and me saying, "Oh," there's a difference between that versus me saying, "Can you be quiet?" There's a difference. We got to add proper context to it. He didn't say, "Hey, fool, be quiet." He said, "Can you be quiet?" There's a big difference. And Tommy was offended. And the only reason that he said it to you, Tommy, because you kept talking. You wouldn't be quiet. The man was trying to finish his point. He was trying to make his point, but you wouldn't let the man land his plane because you continued to overtalk. Then he asked you nicely, "Hey, man, can you be quiet? Can I please finish my point?" Man.
So what I said to you is what I normally do to people.
All right, so listen, man, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. I appreciate everybody for pulling on up. I told you guys last month, Captain Tazaryach and Tommy Sotomayor, they're going to fall out. Because if Cap stands for anything, there's no way that he's going to be cool with Tommy if he stands for anything. Tommy was over there begging racist white people for acceptance. And I played the audio for you guys several times, so he can't fix his mouth to say that it wasn't true. He said, "I'm not like Tariq Nasheed or any one of these pro-blacks, but yet you guys still insult me." Basically saying, I don't see how come you guys don't like me? I'm not a pro-black. I'm not like Tariq Nasheed. You guys have no excuse to like me. You have no excuse to dislike me. That's the game he tried to play with those white boys. You guys don't have any reason to dislike me. I'm not a pro-black. I'm not like Tariq Nasheed. I'm not like the Dindus, and you still disrespect me. You whites still don't like me. He was begging whites for acceptance. Literally begging those white people to like him. I'm not like Tariq Nasheed or any one of those pro-blacks. I'm not like the Dindus, but you guys still insult me. That is pathetic. He was begging white tea people to embrace him. He was begging them for acceptance. That was pathetic. If I ever seen something that was pathetic, that took the cake. Oh, that took the cake. I'm not like Tariq Nasheed or any one of these pro-blacks. I'm not like the Dindus or any one of these ignorant blacks, but yet you guys still treat me like crap. Begging white people for acceptance. That is embarrassing, Tommy. That is pathetic. Right. He said Tommy was looking for a way out, so he starts arguing like a woman. Exactly. Shout out to Jonathan Kidd, 7215. He nearly cried once he realized that those white folks didn't like him. Yeah. I'm not like the Dindus or any one of these pro-blacks. I'm not even like Tariq Nasheed, but yet you guys treat me like crap. I said it a long time ago. I said, I don't see how Cap hangs around Tommy when he knows that Tommy is a bootlicker. Tommy is a certified bootlicker. If you stand for something, you're not going to be cool with Tommy. That's just the reality of it. Oh, he said he nearly cried. Right. He nearly cried once he realized that those white folks didn't like him. He nearly cried. I thought Tommy was going to break down crying on that show once he realized them white folks didn't accept him. Once he realized them white folks didn't like him. Anyway, man, I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. We had a wonderful show this morning, man. I wanted to start this morning off with some hot fire, with some hot content, right? It is what it is. Tommy, stop begging white people to like you, bro. They don't. Well, Anton is pathetic too, but see, Anton hides behind his money and success. So black people still gonna rock with Anton because he knows how to hide behind his money and success. He'll say Anton agrees with, like, if white people say something negative about blacks, Anton Daniels is gonna agree with that. But black people give Anton a pass because of his success and money. So they overlook the fact that Anton is a raccoon because he's successful. And they want to leech off of him. They're hoping that they can gain some clout or grow their channels having conversations with him. They want to get a piece of Anton's audience, so they overlook his raccoon activities. And they worship him for his success and money. Those are the type of blacks that gravitate to Anton. So they'll go along with him because they want to be friends with him. So they'll just go along with his BS. But anyway, man, make sure that you guys bless the like button. It ain't nothing. You seen it here, Red Supreme. Subscribe to the channel, and I will be back with another show at 12 p.m. noon today. I'm gone. Shout out to Scoop. Shout out to my dog Scoop in the building. You know, said Tommy sounds like a scorned woman. Anton faked it till he made it. Mike TV broke that down. Yeah, but unfortunately, black people are groupies for success and money. So if you got success and money, they'll give you a pass for anything. If you got success and money, black people will give you a pass for anything. You see that with Anton Daniels. Anton is a certified Sambo. But as long as he has money and success, black folks gonna give him a pass every single time. The majority of them. Peace to everybody. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Check me out on the second show at noon today. I'm gone.